Hey there, chart friends. Lamont here from JKS, checking in on the solar sector. Getting some reports that the audio is a bit wonky, dropping some syllables. I made some adjustments. Hopefully that does the trick. Otherwise, I'm just going to try to yell into this microphone. Thank you, Timber, for letting me know. So we are just watching these ranges, this green range within this larger range dictated by these boundaries. And I know that there's this data outside, but I honestly forget why I had it like that, but I suppose we should lower it, right? Just make sure. Oh, you know what? It's because it's still within the close. I care mostly about closes in general. And I always have my scales come out of the zone typically anyway, because I ideally will have a fill, be part of a stop hunt if necessary. So yeah, they're just guidelines, all right? Just guidelines. Anyways, so we're watching these ranges. Today we had some more follow through, but we are still not over key resistance of 76.48 here, so no daily bounce follow through, just an inside bar. The hourly time frame obviously did not get into our zone of interest here. I didn't want to grab a higher low play, even though, you know, obviously it would have been good, but I don't love grabbing higher low plays whenever we're in range. It's just not as straightforward in my opinion. Like, for example, here, there's no follow through, right? And any other examples? I guess not really. There we go, right? Trend change into double bottom. Yeah. So I don't love it. I just like to stick to playing the ranges. Okay, so what are we looking out for tomorrow? It's not really much going on, obviously, because we had that inside bar day, so it's essentially just a tightening range, right? We didn't leave yesterday's range. So if the bulls tomorrow cannot get over 76.48, that's probably a good area to look for a potential short if you're looking for like a bit of a day trade. Since they closed strong up near the high of the day and a little bit of a push after hours, if they are able to maintain this strength, at least not give too much back, not lose this support here of 75.26, then they'll be in a position right away to start off the day, potentially breaking that resistance. And if they are unable to do so, that would be the go sign for bears, at least for the short term, just for a day trade, to pile in and maybe test this lower end of the range. For a long, I just care about the range. That's really all I care about. So, and I ideally will be doing our shopping in hourly oversold conditions. Like, this is, you know, pretty tricky to trade in. The range is not that high, and so you don't want to get too aggressive here. Okay, ideally, well, none of these pivots had. Well, actually, that's not true. Yeah, the 5 minute did. Okay, but that's just for me. I'm more inclined to try to capture these hourly moves. I like to ride the plays for longer. For day trades, I just trade futures. I'm getting off on a tangent now. Okay. So tomorrow, the bulls will be looking for a healthy hourly higher low over 75.26. But like I said, it's not a terrible amount of space to set one. And again, whenever we're range bound, I'm just a bit more skeptical when it comes to higher low plays. Like even this, right? You have this low here, it gets taken out, rally, it gets taken out, and then yeah. So yeah, so if anything, maybe plays like this, right? We want to make sure we get 5 minute oversold into this area of support. And we don't really have to zoom out. We can tell that there's a lot of pivots here. So if we can get down here, test this weekly pivot and be in 5 minute oversold conditions, that'd be ideal. Okay, so maybe even something like that. And of course, remember, these would change. The 5 minute setups that I share, particularly, you'll want to be more mindful of going into the next day, right? Because it's gonna change the most compared to like hourly, hourly. Those hourly plays, very often they still shake out as you've seen, I'm sure, if you're a regular viewer. But the 5 minute plays, they require a bit more adjustment. All right. Anyways, so bottom fishing these levels here, not a bad place if we can get 5 minute overbought. But remember, we are range bound, so we will just be looking to like test the middle of the range even. Let's see. All right, so if you want to cut up this range into two levels, because you can see there's like bottoms here, right? You can cut up this range into two, that bottom here. If you split it up into two, roughly off this purple line, then essentially what you're doing is you're bottom fishing the lower end of this range. And if that's the case, then you really just want to be looking to take profit before this high, right? So something like that maybe. And just looking left, you can see there's a bunch of congestion here as well. So for a potential profit target, like to take some partial off to protect your position, maybe you want to do so around 75.26. All right, so this is the only real trade that I like, and the RR isn't even that great. So honestly, I don't love it. I much prefer these plays down here. All right, these hourly plays here. I much prefer that. If we can get hourly oversold, test the lower end of this range, that's really my preferred play. All right, but same thing. As long as we're range bound, there's a trade for everybody. You can go bullish. You can go bullish or bearish. If you're going to play shorter term time frames, you're playing within this range between 77 and 72 ish. And if you want to play the daily moves, then you're looking at like between 70 and 79. Okay, so for those hourly pivots, you just want to make sure that the 5 minute is oversold. For those daily pivots, you just want to make sure that the hourly is oversold. That's probably what it is. That's when I start speaking quickly and mumbling. That's probably what's dropping it. I'm talking as if Timber is here, but I know you're not. Are you? Okay, let's see here. JKS. All right, so JKS flirting with our zone of interest, a bit too conservative with the zones here. Daily trend change is confirmed. We're testing this base of support now. Bulls showed up to play defense today. They have a lot of work right now to change the daily trend back in their favor. Obviously, this short didn't play out. I'm just going to kill this for now. Let's just get the congestion out of the way, and we'll readjust this one now. Let's see. So zooming into the hourly time frame. Oh, man, just kissed it. Okay, so for example, this is a situation where you likely would have wanted to adjust this level, right? This level was laid out yesterday. It was an estimate. It was off by a little bit because I can't reliably know where the hourly RSI will get extended because of this action here, right? This action, as you can see, changes the RSI. Anyway, so now going into tomorrow, if you didn't grab that fill, then you want to just be a little bit deeper, right? Look a little bit lower. We're still in the space of support here. If you look left, there's still a lot of price action congestion. Oh, interesting. Thought I had it off the hourly closes. Either way, there's still a bunch of congestion here. We have this channel support, this potential channel support. While I'm not terribly confident in the channel itself, I am very confident in the support line because it's aligned with not only this congestion area where these multiple bottoms are put in, but it's also a trend line with 1, 2, 3 hits. 4 hits. 1. And I guess if you consider this resistance hit, which I would, it's a bunch. Okay, so the support line I'm much more confident in than this resistance line, which right now only has this one tag, and so I'm just assuming parallelity. However, the standard deviation band did get a tag here, so you know I do have reasonable confidence for the resistance line, but just not as much as the lower trend line, the support line. Oh, there I go, mumbling again. I caught it. All right, so that's how I would like to have this set up. Ideally, the Bears will not see much follow through. If you are bullish on this play, keep this hourly channel alive, get some nice bounce follow through to potentially change the hourly trend, and then have the Bears, scouting a daily lower high under 68.74. All right, and let's see. Oh, why did I kill that? I shouldn't have killed that trend line. Okay, it's not terribly relevant here. All right, and then regarding short, if we see some bounce follow through here, if the bulls show up tomorrow, defend this low of 56.51, and then break to a higher high over 59.99, then the daily bounce will be underway, and we will be looking for that lower high. And so if you want to go short off of this area here, you have this trend line, right? You have this trend line there, you have this median line, to the channel median line, this red line here. You know that there's this daily price action resistance here. And so you just want to make sure you're doing your initiations in hourly overbought conditions, like so. That's actually quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, I like this play. But it's unlikely to set up tomorrow. Like this play obviously is much more likely to set up tomorrow than that play is. Okay? But we will be scouting that daily lower high on any daily bounce. Something like that. Run. Man, I didn't get anything. All right, so Run had a bullish day, however, was an inside bar day. So obviously we didn't get any of these range plays, but that's my primary interest. Just like before, there's a lot of price action here. So yeah, I only care about these range plays. And it looks like we're in a daily EQ, so I wouldn't be surprised if we set a daily lower high here under 61.24, but we'll see. Hourly trend. Was this from yesterday? Why is this here? Oh, I guess we would be looking for an hourly lower high in 5-minute overbought conditions. And did that occur? I mean, I guess you had some potential to chop it up. Let's see. 58.14. Yes. So if you played it exactly like this, which I don't recommend because the 5-minute was not overbought there, but I know some of you out there are doing that. I really don't suggest that, guys. You have to adjust the levels based on the conditions, right? Every trade should have specific trade parameters, and these trades are based on exhaustion identified through RSI and then playing off of, you know, price action supports or resistances, okay? But even if you did make this play, you had some ability, some potential to chop it up, be protective. But this play played out actually all the way up here. Right, so this is where the 5-minute got extended. So this box should have been all the way up here, and it stayed cool because it was very choppy. You know, for the RSI to get extended, it needs to move up aggressively like this. You see how it moved up from here to like, I don't know, like 55-ish to overbought on this leg. Right, it's this leg here. Okay, so you need a bunch of successive candles. If you just kind of chop about, then the RSI just kind of stays chill. It doesn't get extended. Okay, so this play, because it kind of chopped up, it's not as appealing, but whatever the case may be, you would have waited for this 5-minute overbought, yes, there, and so this would have looked like this. You would have got that one fill. Ideally, you chopped, and then I probably would have closed out. But I mean, it's not the worst place in the world. I don't know, if you got one fill, chopped it up, didn't get that second fill yet, and you have a stop over the high of day, it's not the worst thing in the world, but just recognize that it's not ideal. It's really not ideal when you don't, you know, when you want typically the best trades start working for you right away. Okay. Anyway, so range bound, that's what we're looking out for. I can kill that now, I guess. And we're looking up at key resistance of 61.24. Hourly trend is, I guess, technically there's no hourly uptrend yet, so there has not been a higher low and higher high yet to confirm the hourly uptrend. Let's see what we got here. Higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high. I guess there's not a lot of volume on it. Then a lower low by a few pennies. I just call it sideways. We would just call it sideways. So ideally what'll happen tomorrow is the bulls will show up and defend this low here of 56.51 and then break to higher highs over, I guess, the regular trading hours high is the most significant one for me, 59.79. It is a double top, so we'll want to watch out for 59.89, which is called $60. Even is the key resistance. If they can do so, they will see some more daily bounce follow through and potentially add a lot of confidence to this daily trend change. You kind of get it here, right? You have this low, a lower high, a higher low, a break to higher highs, but I don't know, it's just like kind of choppy. It doesn't, not terribly confidence inspiring. If we can get over this high, that would be a lot better. You can see that the monthly pivot is here as well, so that would add confidence to traders who use pivots. So let's see, the trade in the short term would either be this hourly higher low, looking for this hourly higher low here, and 5-minute oversold conditions. So something like that. Remember, guys, move the box. Move the box, okay? Move the box. Make sure that your scales are occurring in oversold conditions. I'm sure I must be getting annoying at this point, saying it so many times, but it's important. It's part of the trade parameter. Okay, so something like that for an hourly higher low, and then soon after that, there will potentially be a short against that resistance here. If the bulls can start out strong tomorrow, I'll kill this. If the bulls can start off strong tomorrow, then we can be playing off of this level as well. Okay, so if the bulls make a strong push up right away, heading into tomorrow's open, we would be extended all the way up there. Let's see. That's surprising. I didn't think it would be so far away. Either way, this yellow line is that daily resistance, and so maybe we'll start our scales like so, right? Just using that, well, maybe start a little bit under it, and then include a potential for a break with no follow through. Let me just make sure that we have some pivots in this area. Not really, actually. Oh, yes, there are. Yes, there are plenty. Lots of congestion here. Okay, no problem. We have no problem with that. Okay, I really overbought into that zone. Not a bad place to look for a potential short. And then if the bears can reject the bulls from there, then the bulls will just be scouting a healthy daily higher low over 52.36. FSLR, more sideways chop, didn't get into our zone of interest at all. Let's see, got some more daily bounce follow through, struggling to get over the pivot for the month. Hourly time frame, it looks like a kind of a sloppy flag. It's not idealized by any means. Anyway, bulls are scouting for a hourly higher low over 81.45 tomorrow. I still like this play. If price gets down to test this channel in hourly oversold conditions, I still like making a play off of this. But for now, I kind of doubt it'll happen. But I still like that play down there. But the play in the near term would just be scouting that hourly higher low. Okay, so similar to run. Okay, just want to make sure we're doing 5-minute overbought here. All right, so maybe something like that. And we'd just be looking for a lower high compared to that. Okay, so let's see if we were to get that low, So just want to make sure that my zone of interest is supported by price action. Let's see. Yeah, I'd say so. Tops. Yes, I feel fine about these levels. Okay, so hourly higher low is on watch for tomorrow. If they can show up, defend this low of 81.45, break to a higher high over 85.77, then the bulls will see more daily bounce follow through and be heading up to potentially test this key resistance of 95.72. There is a lot of space in which they must gain in order to do so. So we'll see. Weekly, it's just choppy. It's just sideways. And again, as long as they're holding this base over this previous resistance, it's not a terrible look. It's not a bad position for bulls. Okay. If we were to lose this channel support, that'd be a bit of a red flag. If we were to break down into this lower base, that would be a bit of a red flag. Plug. Got one. Finally. All right. So plug. Wait, I'm just so eager to look at that trade. All right, so plug has lost this upper channel. We can probably kill this now. Bit of an eyesore. Not even close to getting down there. I'm just gonna remove this for now. All right, so let's see here. Potential flag. All right, still very healthy consolidation on the daily time frame. So if we see a bear break with very minimal follow through, then that flag thesis will be a bit more likely. Let's check the hourly time frame. So the lower high is like potentially being set right now. I don't know. I gotta zoom in, but it's a long upper wick. Alrighty, so no confirmed hourly downtrend yet, so that daily lower high is not set. But I will say that this move up does not look terribly impulsive. Does not look terribly impulsive, right? You don't want this splotch of mixed colors on any moves that for trades that you're in. Okay, so what are we looking out for here? Okay, so if you took this trade, let me check to make sure it was a good trade. Was the 5-minute extended? It was. Okay, so that was a decent little trade there. 5-minute extension was where you want to start. And obviously it can get more extended than 70-ish. And so that's why we have more fills up there. To everybody who's upset about, getting one fill, it's not really a problem, guys. Like it's a numbers game, right? It's a volume game. You're going to be trading for the rest of your career. It's not about milking the most out of each trade. It's about constantly positioning safely to benefit from asymmetrical situations, right? That's really it, right? So You know, if you're gonna complain about one fill that got 5%, come on, man. Come on. I don't know where all you guys are coming from. I don't know what would work. Anyway, but I mean, I welcome the feedback. No problem. That's just my opinion. You know, if you want to be a bit more aggressive, no problem. Just move the scales down a bit, right? I'm not telling you how to trade. This is just how I like to do it. Alrighty. So tomorrow, ideally for bears, they will hold this high here of $24, break to a lower low under $23.45, and then have bull scouting a daily higher low. Let's see. Yes, have bull scouting a daily higher low over $22, and we're just watching this potential this channel, right? Let's see if we can be fairly confident in this channel now that we have 2 touches up top, 3 touches on the bottom, and this little congestion area. We can be fairly confident in this channel now. So let's see. If we're looking for that daily higher low, then we'd be starting probably around here. Right? And because I'm being mindful of this potential flag, I don't want to just stop out if this low gets taken out. Okay. So, oops. So personally, what I would do is, remember, starting our scales and hourly oversold for those daily moves. So it would be like this. Okay. And we would just be looking to test the channel, right? Channel, maybe the standard deviation line. Just looking for a lower high. All right. Let's see. Get this out of here now. Okay. And then in the short term for tomorrow, I really just like it bearish. So let's say that this turns out to not be the lower high. The lower high is not confidently set yet. If the bulls push up tomorrow, top fishing this resistance in 5-minute overbought conditions, in my opinion, would not be a bad trade. So ideally, we'll have this channel, the channel resistance, and we'll be top fishing that, and it'll look like that. Okay, and maybe we'll just look for the median line test like that. Just assuming that if this channel were to hold, that the median line test would be likely. It's very often what happens. See, the boundaries get, dang, I just mumbled. It's very often what happens. See, the limits get tested and then median line. Tested, median line. Tested, median line. Right? Doesn't quite get there. Still goes to median line. Tested, median line. That's just kind of how valid channels operate. Okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if we were to see that right away. And if that is the case, well, I mean, we'll see. I think that about covers it. Oh man, 22 minutes. Alrighty then. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all soon.